Can't just sit here and focus on myself, knowing that with God on my side, I would be fine. So I tried to just go and help out my fellow classmates, try to keep them calm and safe and let them know that they'll be okay.
Heartbreaking accounts from child survivors of the Minneapolis Catholic school shooting. And the wait is finally over. Football is back in the Coastal Bend. Veteran Memorial and Miller kick off tonight for our first game night. South Texas Sports Director Larissa Liska gives us a breakdown of what you can expect. Chris 6 News at 5 starts right now. Well, good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Clara Benitez Cortez. We start our coverage in Minneapolis, where several are mourning the loss of 2 children after a gunman opened fire during a morning mass at a Catholic school Wednesday. 18 other people, including 15 children and 3 adult parishioners, were injured. 1 adult and 5 children remained in critical condition. Police have identified the shooter as 23-year-old Robin Westman, who died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara said the suspect was a member of the church. The suspect's mother previously worked there.
So I told me and my 2 buddies to get down and to get under the pew. And right when I told them that, it was like a state of shock for me, and I knew that I had to try to keep as many people around me as I could safe.
Now, court documents show Westman's parents requested a name change from Robert to Robin, granted in 2020, saying Westman, quote, identifies as a female just before the attack. Investigators say the shooter posted a series of disturbing videos. Now, after the recent shooting of the Catholic Mass, there is a question on how local churches are keeping their parishioners safe. Rock City Church in Flower Bluff tells our neighborhood news reporter Ana Conejo they are taking measures to ensure safety through their ushers team, county sheriff on duty, and doubling door security, and a training session for those who protect the church, all in an effort to be ready and prepared.
It's definitely heartbreaking, but it also, at the same time, it puts a desire inside me and inside of our team to create a safe environment for our guests, our members, and our kids especially.
Well, Pastor Pankinen says the church is always looking at other safety measures and hopes other churches do the same. Now, Chris 6 News has learned conflicting testimony was behind the plea deal in the Mark Anthony Hernandez case. As we reported, Mark Hernandez was originally charged with murder in the May 2021 death of little Giselle Lopez. Giselle was found unconscious at a Southside apartment complex. Hernandez claimed that the 1-year-old fell off the bed. The child died 2 days later. Conflicting testimony during a bond hearing, however, supported the defense claim that the injury that caused the child's death had happened days earlier. Hernandez agreed to a plea deal and pled guilty to injury to a child by omission. The 31-year-old received 10 years deferred adjudication, which means he will serve his sentence over a 10-year period. Instead of all at once, he will need to serve 300 hours of community service. He's also banned from contacting the victim's family. Now, with a crucial vote on the future of the Inner Harbor Desalination Project coming up Tuesday, a coalition of area community groups is urging the City Council to just say no. Hillcrest residents, members of local environmental groups, and community activists gathered at Books AME Worship Center in the Hillcrest area to once again speak out against a proposed desal facility. The group described the project as a non-starter that will become a financial burden in Corpus Christi residents, and they're also opposed to the facility's proposed, saying brine discharges would create dead zones in Corpus Christi Bay.
We're not saying that we are against desalinization, don't get us wrong. We're saying that we're against the desalinization at this particular place, this particular position inside of Hillcrest.
The Inner Harbor Desalination Project, with an estimated cost of nearly $1.2 billion, was paused by the Corpus Christi City Council. Tuesday's vote could determine if the project moves forward once again. And don't forget to join us at 6. We take an in-depth look at our current water crisis, running dry, the Coastal Bend's water crisis. That begins at 6 p.m. tonight right here on Chris 6. Well, the summer heat has gone from uncomfortable to potentially dangerous, and it's only going to get worse. Let's bring in meteorologist Stephanie Lauber, who is going to break it down for us.
Yeah, it's definitely been a change of scenery here in that we got used to the rain really helping to keep things a bit cooler, but we didn't see any of that today. In fact, it was hard to find some clouds around the coastal bend. A few of those puffy cotton balls, fair weather cumulus clouds. Take a look. We did get to see the sea breeze pushing those clouds inland, but it wasn't enough of a spark to get some rain in the forecast because our friend, that front, wasn't there to help out. So that's the sea breeze pushing those clouds in. You can kind of see there's almost like a curve here. That's when our wind direction changed and we start seeing more of that south-southeast wind direction tomorrow. That's going to be more of a due south wind and it is going to bring some heat with it. But today is Thursday, so we'll get a check on this, the drought monitor update. Here's a look at last week's. I'll show you the current one coming up.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. And the Texas State Aquarium is getting a major upgrade to help wildlife during disasters. Holcat donated a gas generator to keep the rescue center running even when the power goes out. The generator will power the surgical suite, marine mammal rehab pool, and turtle hospital during hurricanes and severe weather. As Texas' largest coastal wildlife rescue facility, the aquarium can now stay operational to save displaced and injured animals when they need help.
Texas lawmakers are once again looking at property taxes. I'm Michaela Chavez, your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter in Nueces County, looking at how some proposed legislation could affect just how much cities and counties can collect each year without voter approval. State lawmakers have moved forward with the bill that would lower the cap on property tax revenue without voter approval from 3.5% to 1%. That means if cities or counties want to collect more, it's up to voters.
Which would truly be detrimental to counties especially.
In Nueces County, this will impact the local budget. County Judge Connie Scott tells me they rely heavily on property tax revenue as their main source of funding.
The state, in their good intentions, sometimes fail to separate maybe cities from counties. We do not get sales tax revenue. We don't get hotel motel tax.
These changes would also affect future projects and even hiring.
There are statutory requirements that the county is required to provide for. So we have the same bills as people at home do. We have to pay them.
Some, like John David Crespo, support the change. He just moved to Texas because his property taxes in Florida were getting out of hand.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I went from $4,000 a year to $5,700 the next year.
He says this will give taxpayers more of a say and forces local government to be more transparent with funding. But some argue that homeowners would only be saving a couple of dollars.
I don't know that this is really a relief to homeowners. I mean, I think you have a voter-approved amount.
Scott wants to keep property taxes down, but also hopes lawmakers can find other ways to help fund the county.
We've got to start looking at alternative sources. We've got to start being proactive, and that's what I intend to do this next legislative session as well. Is I'm going to be asking for additional funds. I'm going to be asking for additional revenue sources and potentially sales tax.
The Texas House and Senate must settle on a final version of the bill before Governor Greg Abbott can sign anything into law. In Nueces County, I'm your Sunrise Neighborhood News reporter Michaela Chavez, Chris 6 News.
All right, Michaela, thank you. And Nueces Bay is a popular fishing spot. And if you want to have a say on its future, you'll get that chance tonight. A public meeting is being held tonight at 6 at the Portland Community Center on the Chris Andrews Boat Launch dredging project. The Chris Andrews Boat Launch, located off of U.S. Highway 181, opened in May of last year. Those behind the project are now seeking feedback on possible channel dredging and other alternatives. If you can't make it tonight but still wish to share your voice, you can fill out the survey by scanning the QR code on your screen right now.
Crews break ground. I'm Melissa Trevino in Bend Bolt, taking a closer look at a multi-million-dollar construction project, adding a new wing to the elementary school.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
I'm Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Bend Bolt. Voters in this community, as well as those in Palito Blanco, approved an $8 million bond to help improve education. I take a look at how the money is being used to build new classrooms and renovate buildings at the school district. I'm at Rudy Garza, just 2 blocks from Bend Bolt Palito Blanco Elementary. He was outside cleaning up his family's property.
I'm all for the school district of Bend Bolt.
Garza moved to the small town when he got married. He tells me he's excited to know his neighbors passed this multi-million-dollar bond for the students.
Our school is old and it needs a lot of work. I'm kind of glad they got rid of the portable buildings and they're going to add on to the school and repair it better.
The Bend Bolt Palito Blanco ISD held a groundbreaking ceremony Thursday to make room for 8 new elementary classrooms. Community leaders and students like Gabriela Mercado and Delaney Hernandez were part of the ceremony.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna have something new for the kids to have. This is very new for the kids. It can give them more of an opportunity for to expand their knowledge about things.
The students tell me the construction project is instrumental to helping their future. Superintendent Victoria Jocelyn tells me she's happy the community is supportive.
We need additional classrooms here because of our student enrollment and also because some of our classrooms in the old wing are a little bit dated.
The elementary campus was built in the 1940s and 400 students are enrolled in the district.
We were just full of pride. It's very exciting that we're doing this addition and we're super proud because this addition is going to benefit our students.
Superintendent Victoria Jocelyn tells me construction of the new wing should be done by early next year. In Bend Bolt, I'm your neighborhood news reporter, Melissa Trevino, Press 6 News.
All right, Melissa, thank you. In Beeville, school officials also celebrated a big milestone today. The Beeville community came together to sign the final beam for the new elementary school. Once completed, this new school will be a combination of the FMC and R.A. Hall Elementary Schools. Beeville ISD Superintendent Travis Fanning says he expects the school to last 5 to 6 decades. The school is set to open for the 2026 school year. And CCISD's 18th annual Operation Keys has kicked off. KEYS stands for Keep Every Youth in School. Today, CCISD staffers and volunteers gathered at the district's administration building on Leopard for the Operation Keys phone bank. About 33,000 students are enrolled in the district, but about 1,000 haven't returned to school this year. Now they're trying to get in touch with those families to find out why.
You can get lots of reasons. It could be transportation, it could be medical or health concerns, it could be maybe the students working to support the family. There's lots of reasons, and it all individualized dependent on each student.
Now on Saturday, September 6th, CCISD staff and volunteers will hit the streets for the Keys Walk. They'll go out into neighborhoods knocking on doors to track down the families they were unable to reach by the phone. And those families will be offered resources to help them overcome whatever barrier is keeping their child from going to school. Now a look at our roadways. Stephanie, how's it looking out there?
Well, it's the ride home, so we're looking a little busy here on SPID, but you know what? We're moving. We had some very heavy traffic flow this morning as well, but this is a nice treat for the ride home. Looks like we are moving along. Downtown, not too busy, and that approach to the Crosstown interchange along 37, also not too busy in comparison to how we typically see things panning out. But if you're going to be taking the SPID stretch between Old Brownsville Road, we are seeing some slowdowns heading toward the Crosstown interchange. Expect that. Otherwise, doing good on SPID, and per usual, we're slow along Staples from about Everhart down to Saratoga. So as you head out, make sure you stay safe and you drive safe. Your forecast is next. All right, here's the view outside. Beautiful sunny day here across the coastal bend. Boy, it has been a whole lot of that sunshine. Did you notice the lack of clouds, lack of rain? Let me show you how things panned out in Corpus Christi. Our almanac is ready to go, and your eyes do not deceive you. We were every bit of 99 degrees today, and I think some of us may have been spoiled by those little pop-up showers, helping to keep things a little more tame with the afternoon heat. Today, no luck, and I think we're going to look about the same tomorrow and likely for most of the upcoming holiday weekend. So heat will be top of mind while the showers take a break, but those too will be back in the 7-day forecast. A lot to talk about, but speaking of rain, we're feeling pretty dry here around the coastal bend. Even with the showers we've had this week at the airport, we haven't picked up a whole lot. Probably the case in your neighborhood too. It's never enough, right? So our deficit for the year in terms of rainfall, we are behind 5.5 inches. That's not very good because over the course of the year, Corpus Christi tends to see just under 32 inches for the year. So that's a whole lot. We have a lot of homework to do when it comes to Mother Nature bringing us rainfall. But for now, it's heat. We'll take a closer look at the south side with the Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network, brought to you by all the Tempest stations across the south side. By the way, if you want one of those, we are going to be giving one away. To find out how to win, stay tuned to this forecast and head to our website, christv.com/weather. Click on the Neighborhood Weather Network button. But temperatures are still in the 90s here across the south side. In fact, feeling the heat as you get closer to the Oso Creek, temperatures in those low to middle 90s. And that doesn't even tell you what the humidity is doing to this forecast. Look at this, in the 90s in some form or fashion along the coast of the coastal bend, feeling like the triple digits. Meanwhile, as you head inland, that heat has less humidity to it, but a whole lot of bite. Triple digit temps, feeling warmer still. 103 in George West, feeling like 107 right now, probably one of the hottest places by feels like temperature, beat only by Alice at 99, feeling like 106, and Kingsville 95, feeling like 110. So with weather like this, makes it a little tough to take the pup for a walk. Our star today is Mr. Bean, and this is an example. These kinds of pugs, they tend to overheat quickly, so let's be careful with that walk. Shorter walks, more frequently, I think that's the best bet. And watch out for the toe beans. Hot pavement can be tricky. Grass is probably the better bet. But as we head into the overnight, that gets a little bit easier because our temperatures will be down in those middle 80s and the wind's dialing back too. But just as hot as it's been today, tomorrow you can expect the same major heat risk for a whole lot of our inland neighborhoods across Live Oak, Jim Wells, and Duval counties. So please be careful with any outdoor activities as we head into the holiday weekend. We're going to be talking about this heat risk into the weekend as well. Stay hydrated, practice heat safety because the temps, they're going to be pushing the triple digits, feeling even hotter. Here's a look at the 7-day forecast for our neighbors in Rockport and Kingsville.
Hey everyone, I'm Larissa Liska at Buccaneer Stadium. You know what that means? High school football is back behind me. Some of the players are already warming up. Veterans Memorial way back there, Miller a few seconds ago. I'll give you the preview on the game in sports.
You're watching Chris 6, part of the Scripps News Group.
Welcome back. Are you ready for some high school football? Well, Chris 6 Sports Director Larissa Liska certainly is. She joins us live from Buck Stadium for a preview of our first game of the week. Larissa, are we having fun yet?
We're having a lot of fun. I saw Miller. They were already hyped. They're now back in the locker room. Veterans Memorial is behind me. This is going to be a fun atmosphere. Over the past couple of years, this has been a battle. Now, last year, Miller did win 41-7. But when I talked to the Eagles last week, they said, we're not worried about what happened last year. This is a new team, and there are a lot of new faces on this roster. But one place they are bringing a lot of talent back is Andrew Charlebois, their running back. He's going to be running all over this field, and their defensive line, I heard, is very scary. That's the test I want to see up against Miller because their front line is going to be new. Their quarterback is going to be freshman David James, but I heard he's got a lot of talent, especially on the baseball field. So we'll see that arm. And he's got two new running backs who will also share the load and also bring a lot of talent. It's Game Night South Texas live on Chris 6. The broadcast starts at 7 with kickoff at 7:05. We'll see you there.
All right, Larissa, we will see you there. And don't forget, we'll have the high school football preview show at 6:30 leading up to the game tonight, where Larissa will walk us through the new coaches this year, top teams to watch, and break down everything you need to know about tonight's game. And coming up, just keep swimming just ahead, the special send-off for the sea turtle who's far from home. Welcome back. A 2-year-old kitty with a heartbreaking story is hoping for a heartwarming future. This is Bellatrix. She's a domestic shorthair who was abandoned at the Gulf Coast Humane Society while pregnant. She gave birth to a pair of kittens, but they sadly died the same day. And Bellatrix then went to a foster home where she nursed another kitten that had lost its mother. Again, tragedy struck. That kitten also passed away. And Bellatrix is now back at the Humane Society, hoping for a happy ending that she deserves so much. And if you would like to adopt this sweet girl, she is waiting for you at the Gulf Coast Humane Society. That's on Cabanis Parkway. And finally tonight, a special send-off for a special friend. This Kemp's Ridley sea turtle had quite the journey, named Patient 529 by the Texas State Aquarium. It was originally found stranded in Boston, suffering from severe pneumonia. The aquarium's Wildlife Rescue Center took the turtle on December 27th with round-the-clock care. Fast forward to today, where the turtle made a full recovery and returned to the ocean.
A happy ending, just like Experiment 626, right? That's what that reminded me of. But here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Looking good for the Labor Day holiday weekend. It's going to be hot, so make sure you're staying hydrated, practicing all the heat safety, checking on the kids, pets, and elderly. We'll have some rain come back Sunday night into Monday and next week.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you here tonight at 6. Bye-bye.